Hello and welcome back. Here is the hair jig that we are tying today. After my last hair jig, which while super fun to fish, is rather excessive and time consuming for tying all your hair jigs in this method. This one's pretty much just made of marble, fox, and ripple ice fibers. It's super quick, super affordable. You can fill your boxes really quickly with these with the style of hair jig. I like using marble fox because for $30 I got this entire piece, this entire tail, and I've tied 5, 6, maybe 7 dozen hair jigs and flies out of it, and it still looks brand new. I like to go to like trappers conventions to get stuff. You can usually get some really good deals on those. So to get started, just gonna throw in your hair jig head of choice. This one is a VMC that I'm using, and this is Vivus 140, and I believe this is hot orange. I like the hot orange to tie my materials because the color of the hot orange kind of gives you a cool looking hot spot. For the tail, I'm just using ripple ice fibers that I cut in half. That just gives me the perfect length for a hair jig this size. You can omit this if you'd like, or use hackle or bunny. I really like to use about 5 or 7 strands of rubber legs doubled over. I think the contrast with the marble fox works really well. It's gonna come in and grab any loose fibers that are in there. Now this first section of marble fox is gonna be the belly, and I'm gonna use kind of a yellow olive. This was actually a dying air that I got from a trade show, but I really kind of like it. And with fox, you always want to make sure you brush out all the underfur first and keep all the guard hairs and the long stuff that you want. I want this first clump to be just a little about the length, about halfway down the flash. Most of this flash is kind of going to be covered up. It's going to be kind of subtle, which I like because sometimes fish don't like flash, and sometimes they do, and this kind of gives you the best of both worlds. So just a couple of loose wraps. You want to work that around the bottom half of that shank. Then once you get it to where you like, just really crank her down with a lot of really firm thread wraps. And I keep it in this position, and I'm going to be using black for the overwing. I like keeping it in this spot here. It's just a little bit easier to measure how long you need your next section of fox to be. So make that a little bit longer. It's just going to be just about as long as that flash is going to be. That flash isn't really going to stick too far out. It's more of a subtle thing. Same thing, a couple loose wraps. Pinch it down to where it needs to be, and then lock her in place. And you are done. You can add some like grizzly hackles down the side, or some peacock curl over the top to kind of class this jig up. But I like to keep these super simple, super quick, and that way you can throw them into cover and lose them and not really worry about them, because you should be able to do quite a few of these in an hour once you get everything down pat. So use whatever glue you're going to use, and you are all set. Like most of my flies, I'm going to brush this out a little bit, even though it really doesn't need to. It's kind of it's probably a neurosis at this point for me, but what are you going to do? Just get the other stuff off your brush. Get all your fibers falling back, and you are done. You can fill your box up real quick. It's got great movement. When it's wet, it's going to give this like a nice bait fish teardrop shape to it. And sky's the limit on the colors. And give it a try. Thanks for watching.